He is War Machine. Do 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 do. Watch this review here with a look at the comic series War Machine from the Iron Man 2 line. Picked this up at my local Toys R Us today. A bit of a funny story because out of like the 150 figures they had there, it was like 9 facings of like 15, and the top shelves didn't have as many, but he was buried towards the back of one of them, and like when you're flipping through them, when one figure's in front of the next, you can't quite see the name of the character, and all the boxes look the same from the front. So if you are looking for this guy and you're trying to flip through this, don't make a mess, don't attract a ton of attention. There is a number right on the side, and if you want this one, his number is 23, which was also Michael Jordan's number back when he played for the Bulls. Back of the package, we have a big, clean, crisp image of the figure with the little weapon attachments in. Little details block with the character information on Jim Rhodes and his origin, then just 3 random figures. Saw 3 of these in stores, wasn't too impressed with the Crimson Dynamo, and the Iron Man I thought had a really great sculpt, but there were some little paint things that I didn't like in any of the figures they had in. By the way, on the side of the packaging, we have a little Avengers Assemble logo, so sign of things to come. The figures in this wave come with these cool little cards, which are actually 3 different layers of cards, top 2 being transparent and the bottom one being opaque. When they're combined, you have a code here on the side. And there's a link here for an IronManCard.com. Currently it just redirects you to the Marvel homepage, so I assume at some point this will probably be a game and you can probably mix and match the pieces to create a suit. When I first saw pictures of this wave, War Machine was the figure that really stuck out. He completely caught my eye, so I'm hurting a little. I don't even want to say this just because it's tearing me up so much inside, but in the interest of full disclosure, I am a little disappointed here. But before I get into the downsides, let's talk about all the pros here. Pro 1, he looks totally badass. I mean, look at this. Those little accessories, incredible. And the paint job, pretty decent. Little con here, depending on the figure you get, the shadowing will vary a little bit. Or at least I assume, just from looking at some other figures this wave, and the shadowing looks a little bit haphazard. I could be wrong. I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, but... Or actually, hopefully I'm right, because I don't like aspects of the shadowing. Like, kind of goes a deep line here, then not, but from a distance, you'll never, ever notice something like that. Hopefully. So, he continues to look completely badass. Now, in terms of cons, he has some articulation problems. I mean, the articulation is good in many regards. He can even flip his weapons back up like this, so you can't see them. Like, if you flipped it like this, then... could remove the accessories too, but I don't feel like doing that right now. He'd just look like a normal War Machine, then flips out and wham, he's on the attack, which I thought was completely awesome. But in terms of articulation here, his chest doesn't really move. I mean, the upper torso here, I mean, it can move, but whenever I try to move it, it feels like I'm going to break him. And once or twice I have gotten it to actually go about 90 degrees, but the whole time I'm experiencing like some really significant resistance, and I'm afraid. Also, the legs here aren't true ball joints. I was hoping that they were full ball joints, and the upper thigh rotates just for looks, but you have to manipulate the thigh around a bit here just to get the legs to go out, because they only move in the little pattern here. So it doesn't really impede things too much because you can still pose them pretty easily, but it's just a little bit of extra aggravation. And of course the stand helps balance out a lot of these poses. The other big thing is he's a lot larger than the other figures from the Marvel Universe line. At a little over 4¼ inches, he's basically as tall as Ultron, but most of it's just the fact that he's a really bulky looking figure. So, this Iron Man here, and probably most of the Iron Mans from Marvel Universe line, which are a little bit under 4¼ inches, are going to look downright puny when compared to War Machine. But you know what? Screw these Iron Men. They have a whole bunch of new Iron Men through this series that you can pick up, and most probably look a bit better than their Marvel Universe counterparts. In a way, this is actually kind of ironic too when you think about it, because the X-Men Origins line was a little bit short, and now we have another movie line, except for it's a bit taller than the usual stuff, so I wonder what the other spin-off lines will be like. Raw! As for articulation, he more closely resembles the X-Men Origins line than the Marvel Universe line. Actually, first, I think you guys want to probably check out the guns, right? Ready to fire? Firing. Ready to fire? All primed? Firing. Yeah, that doing anything for you guys? Seriously, how cool are these projectiles? No, seriously, how cool are these projectiles? In the comments below, put down either cool, damn cool, or very damn cool. But in terms of articulation, as mentioned, you can just slide these cannons back and then spin them around. The head does not do much just because we have so much armor up here. It'll only move side to side, even then it can't move that far to the side. Most of the ball joints are just really stiff, and you really have to line it up, and it kind of lines up counterintuitively. See? Wrists rotate. This can do the usual range of motion because it's a little peg/ball. You have to pick up the arm pads to move the actual shoulder here. But as soon as you do that, you can just slide that right back down for the poses. All the joints of this figure are just crazy tight for some reason. As mentioned, the upper torso can rotate. I could probably do 320, but I'm just scared I'd never get it back. Plus, every time I do that, the joint feels a little bit looser. I'm just worried eventually it'll snap altogether. Legs, as mentioned, aren't much fun just because you have to rotate it to get it face the right way so it'll kick forward, but no biggie. Double jointed knees, really visible pin joints here. And the feet kind of rotate, but not much, and go up and down a little bit. You'll also notice that he has a fist and an open hand. Actually, you can't move this wrist too much just because you've got this little gun blocking the way. I'm not sure what this open hand is supposed to do because it's kind of pointing, but it's an open hand. I mean, it's not like he's attacking unless, given all the other crazy weapons on him, he also has the dreaded finger poke of doom. Maybe, just maybe. On the badass scale, War Machine is totally rocking a 9. He's probably my favorite figure for the scale thus far, but we have a ton of cool figures coming out this year, so, are you guys excited as I am? Because I'm pretty damn excited right now. But yeah, until next time, I'm hopefully reviewing a figure almost as kick-ass as this one.